morning. The May 22nd, 2017 regularly scheduled Commissioners Court is called to order. And as you're standing up, we do have one thing that's not on the agenda, and we want to start with that. Gentlemen from facilities, would y'all come up here, please? All of you. Barbara. And actually, we're going to uncall court because this is not on the agenda. So, but what are we going to accuse them of? We want to thank this group of employees because we have had ongoing for a couple of months. We've had an economy analysis of all our properties that the county is responsible for. And Friday afternoon, they came in and sat down with us and said, we have nothing to say. We can't save you a dime. You're the most efficient operation we've seen. So I just wanted to acknowledge. And to give you some insight to that, most of those facilities they see are in the $4 and $4.50 a foot operational cost. We are just above $1, sometimes under $1. So magnificent, folks. Thank you so much. Congratulations. So now you can go back to work, yeah. Okay. Take care of them. But we are officially called to order, and we're going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, guys.
Followed by.
Good job. Go ahead.
Actually, we're not going to start with the pledge. We're going to start with the invocation by the clerk, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk.
Please pray with me. Dear Lord, thank you for this beautiful day, and thank you for the rain that we received and that we're going to receive. I pray for all our first responders and our men and women overseas protecting us. I pray that you give wisdom to the court today in their decisions. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Good morning, Madam Auditor.
Good morning, Commissioner.
The auditor has arrived.
With the county attorney, too. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, but he's had some other.
Are y'all tattletelling?
All right. Unfortunately, this is the one that's come too frequently. Number 3, acknowledge the retirement of Thomas Honeycutt from the Sheriff's Office. Doggone it. So, Sheriff?
Well, Judge, I don't know why. Well, I do know why. Grandkids, and you can't ignore grandkids.
That's almost cheating, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. But Thomas has been with us 23 years, moved up through the ranks. He's a sergeant, crime prevention, working CID. I have never called upon him that he did not respond. He has worked undercover. He has worked all kinds of stuff. He has been in every facet of investigations in the county and has done an outstanding job, and I really, really hate to lose him. He's been a good hand, and I wish you luck.
Thomas, we want to present this to you from the court, but mainly we'd like to hear more about your plans. Tell us about what your next phase of your life is going to be like.
Well, as the sheriff said, I got grandkids calling around the Houston area, so I don't have no plans on where I'm going yet. I'm still working on that, but it's going to save me a lot of wear and tear on my vehicle and time just moving down there versus driving down there every weekend.
Well,
Goodness sakes.
Congratulations for making it to this point in your life.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
Safe travels, Thomas. Thank you.
Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you. Sheriff, thank you. Must be in the water this morning. Number 4, acknowledge the retirement of Sharon Williams from the library.
Oh, man.
Sheriff, you're going to hear a very similar story. out
Yeah,
of this
Sheriff
one.
stole all my lines. I think the county must do a grandchild policy. We're losing Sharon for the same reasons. Grandkids, Sharon's been with us again. Been with the county nearly 20 years, library, all of that. Been vital to me the last 7 years. Started in circulation, worked her way up. She's running Centennial now, which y'all know is an important jewel to us. And she's going to be sorely missed by everyone in the community, but especially by me. So sorry to lose you.
And Sharon, the same question to you. I'd like to hear more about your future plans.
Well, I'll be moving to Big Lake, Minnesota.
Oh,
Just wanted
big
to
difference.
make that clear. Right, 3 grandkids up in Minnesota. Oh, yeah, my son's there too, and daughter-in-law.
and there probably is water in that lake, right?
Truly. In fact, the Mississippi starts around up there, but anyway, just going to go be ya.
Well, blessings to you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thanks, Sharon.
Our next item ought to be anybody that's got grandkids and hadn't told us yet, come forward. Yeah. Now, Sharon, thank you immensely for what you've done, and particularly out at Centennial. Enjoy the Big Lake. Number 5, acknowledge the impacts of the month honoree Sean Brent from the county clerk's office. Your colleagues would like to say something about you.
I was just going to read the nomination that I wrote. Happened to write. Sean serves the citizens of Midland County with integrity and diligence. When we receive our impacts cards from the public, there is always one for Sean. I attached some copies. She embodies all of the county's values. She treats all of her customers and coworkers with compassion and respect. I trust Sean to get the job done. She is always early, and we practically have to push her out of the door at closing time. Her first priority is her customers. Her diligence and compassion are reflected in her work, and you can't get enough of her beautiful smile. She is loved and adored by all that come in contact with her. If Midland County had a homecoming queen, she would be it. We are blessed to have her in our office and working for the citizens of Midland County.
Thank you.
Wow. All right.
Sean, I know there's a bunch of goodies that go along with this. Have they told you all the things that you get?
Yes, sir.
Well, good. And here are some keepsakes from the court
Thank
that we want to
you.
present to you. But also, we would like to hear anything you'd like to say to your fellow employees, elected officials, court, anybody.
Thank y'all.
Homecoming queen, huh?
Thank you. Y'all too.
Thank you, Sean.
Hi, son.
And dude, you may want to have the say in this one. This is number 6, acknowledge Dale Little's induction to the Texas Emergency Management Hall of Fame. He kept it pretty quiet, so much I didn't even know about it. But Dale, come forward. Dude, you want to come tell us you were there and the cameraman? We're very proud of you, Dale. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It was a surprise because dude didn't even know.
Yeah.
But thank you very much.
You bet.
I'll let him talk.
Dude Speed from DPS.
Yes, sir. Thank you for acknowledging Dale. We had our TDM, Texas Division of Emergency Management, yearly conference last week in San Antonio. And this year was the first year that there had been any kind of awards given by TDM to emergency management coordinators throughout the state. This year, they created what's called the Texas Division of Emergency Management Hall of Fame, and they inducted 6 people into that. Dale was one of the recipients of the first 6 ever to be inducted into that. I think it says a lot about Dale and also Midland County. Invariably, anywhere you go and in the emergency management arena, you hear about Midland County. Midland County is looked upon as a leader in emergency management, and I attribute that to Dale and the support that he's had throughout the years with the county in in emergency management. So, and I always like to say, you know, I moved here in 1992. That's when I first met Dale. I don't know how long he'd been doing public service work, but legend has it that he is the first one to put red lights on a covered wagon, so. But anyway.
Picture that.
Thank you all for supporting him and allowing him to represent Midland County, not only within the region, but throughout the state. Everybody knows Midland County. So a very deserving recipient of this award. Thank you.
Yeah. Dude, thanks. Dale, you want to say?
And I could not have done it without Judy being right there in the office. She's my right arm on everything.
Good.
And I appreciate it. And actually, with him saying that about the covered wagon, the entire state happens to know about that right now because that was part of the speech.
See you, Dale.
Good job, Dale. That's awesome.
Dale and Dude, where is the permanent home of that Hall of Fame going to be located? They didn't tell me when they sent it to us.
It will be at DPS headquarters
In Austin?
and the State Operations Center.
Okay, good. Well, congratulations on being one of the first. You bet.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay, number 7, discuss take action on court minutes from April 24th and May 8th, 2017. They are in your packet.
Motion to approve?
Okay,
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. An item we postponed and asked to bring it up this week. Number 8, discuss take action authorizing county judge to sign a collaborative agreement with West Texas Food Bank, Midland County Public Libraries. Mr. Trichetti, please.
Judge, as you indicated, this was an item on the agenda last time. The court had asked for additional information, and that should have been provided in your packets. We provided a letter from my office and then detailed information regarding other public libraries of similar size in Texas that have done this program in past summers. We also have representatives of West Texas Food Bank and Jubilee Center to answer any questions that y'all may have in regards to the logistics, but provided the information as requested by the court, Judge.
Okay, John, the 2 questions I've got written down that were asked repeatedly was, number 1, this is only for children, is that
Yes, sir.
correct?
That's correct.
And secondly, unfortunately, there is an element of homeless that resides in our downtown library that's adult.
Yes, sir.
That we have had some issues with. What is the plan to keep the adults away from the children?
So I'll have the Jubilee Center come and speak to a portion of that. For us, from a logistical standpoint, the feeding portion will be sequestered from the rest of the library. We'll be doing that in the Kaleidoscope Storytime Room, which has the ability, as y'all know the layout, it's kind of off the beaten path, and we can secure that and check those in, much like we do during elections at downtown. There's kind of a check-in table to first before you make your way into that room to receive those services. So that will act as a buffer. If we have additional challenges with some of those individuals, we will provide them with information from the Jubilee Center, which will provide them food service, and I'll ask the representative of the Jubilee Center to come up and give his.
Okay, before you leave though, let me ask you, when you say you'll have information for this additional service, the real crux of the court's question is, when people are hungry and they see food, they will do anything. And what are the protections both of y'all have put into place? I'm glad Jubilee Center's gonna feed these folks, but if you have an adult penetrating that area and reaching over or touching or somehow disrupting it, what's your plan?
Well, We have policies and procedures in place for any library program where we would have some disruption. Staff is trained to handle those situations. This particular program will have additional volunteers and manpower to help facilitate that. And if we continue to have an issue, then we'll lean on the sheriff's department and have those guys come over and do what they do best, and it becomes not our problem anymore. At some point, when they continue to violate the policies and procedures of the library programming, then we will ask the sheriff's department to intervene.
Does that answer what y'all are looking for?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead, please, sir.
Good morning, gentlemen. I'm Greg Clark. I'm the Executive Director of the Jubilee Center, and thank y'all for allowing us to be here today. I'm going to answer any questions. We've been in operation about 13 years and feed over 12,000 people a year, so we're pretty experienced at this, and so we're proud to be a partner in this also. What we're going to do initially for the library is what we do for about a dozen churches here and some other nonprofits. We provide them with information on how they can contact us, set up appointments, and we'll provide them with the groceries they need and the food they need. So we're going to do whatever we can to take care of that issue that you discuss. So we're going to do our part and provide a couple of good people to help run this program also.
So I take it from the information that it won't be just the library staff, which would be a disproportionate ratio.
Yes, sir. No, that is correct. We are, at its core, just a host site. The staffing will be provided by the Jubilee Center. We certainly will have volunteers, Senior Link, and some of those organizations that we partner with in the summer anyway to provide additional staffing, whether it's a youth services program, an adult program, whatever the case may be, where we need an extra hands on deck that staffing won't allow. So we will have additional dedicated staff, but Jubilee Center and West Texas Food Bank provide the infrastructure and the staffing to run the program.
Okay. Are there any other questions from the court? Those were left over from last week.
Thank you.
Our last court meeting.
I'd like to make a motion.
Oh, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to authorize the county judge to sign a collaborative agreement with West Texas Food Bank and Midland County Public Libraries.
Okay, would you make that motion, please, subject to Russell's review of the agreement?
Subject to Russell's review.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you, Court.
Thank y'all for clearing it up.
Thank you.
You bet.
Good job.
And I'll give this to Russell at the end of court, and you can get it from him.
Yes, sir.
All right. Thank you. Number 9, discuss take action on out-of-state travel for John Trisketti to attend the American Library Association Annual Conference in Chicago, June 22nd through 24, 2017. I think that's a budgeted item.
Yes, sir. I go annually. This year, the American Library Association happens to be in Chicago, which coincidentally is the home of the American Library Association. It's where I get a bulk of my continuing ed required for accreditation.
Okay.
There is a line that I'm transferred currently in the budget to move money for his airplane travel, and I believe last Commissioner's Court, he had some approved for the advance that he did this time, so.
All right. Thank you. All right, number 10. Well, I guess we ought to vote, shouldn't we?
That'd be great, Judge.
I think I know what the vote is.
Motion, oh, did we make a motion?
Now we need a motion.
To approve travel?
Second.
Motion and seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Number 10, discuss and take action on out-of-state travel for Priscilla Bonilla and Bethany Purdue to attend the National Association of Pretrial Services. Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you. And you have something you want to go do, it says.
Yes, we are wanting to go to the National Pretrial Conference. It'll be the first time that we've ever been, from September 10th to the 13th in Pittsburgh.
Okay. And I don't have, is it on y'all's? I don't have an item on this, a sheet.
No, I don't either.
Tell us a little bit, how many of you going? 2 of you?
It'll be 2, and it was budgeted, I believe she put for $3,400 for both of us.
Okay. And where is it?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Okay. You said it's budgeted?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Well, with that, I'll go ahead and make a motion to approve out-of-state travel for Priscilla Bonilla and Bethany Pardue to attend the National Association of Pretrial Services.
Okay. Second. Have a motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thanks, Bethany.
Thank you very much. Number 11, discuss take action on election office staff to attend 35th Annual Secretary of State Election Law Seminar in Austin, Texas on July 31st through August 3. And good morning.
Good morning. I'm standing in for Deborah. She had to be at a meeting, so
Stan. Well, we're glad you're standing. Yeah.
I'm glad to be standing also. We would leave on the 30th of July. We'd be gone for 4 days. That would be all 5 staff members. And we do have Judith Blair, who is one of our election workers, to come in and man the office. The other thing is we're requesting that we could get a minivan. As I said, there are 5 women being gone for 4 days. So we need lots of storage room.
Okay. And this is the event where you get caught up on the latest from the state.
Yes, sir. And lots has been going on this year.
Everywhere.
So,
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve that travel.
Commissioner.
With including the
Yes.
minivan?
Yes,
So your motion does include the minivan upgrade?
that's correct.
All right.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you very much.
thank you.
Thanks, Karen.
Tell us what you learned, Karen. Number 12, acknowledge monthly tax collection for April 2017. Karen?
Good morning. You should
Morning.
have
Morning.
that information in front of you in Commissioner Sanchez. I do have the 2016 backup with that as well.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any questions, be glad to answer any. It's looking pretty good.
It is.
Any questions?
Oh, wow.
Any motions?
Motion to acknowledge.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you.
13, discuss take action on e-signature contract with Westlaw. This is standard contract, Judge Darger.
Guess what?
Talked about it in the elevator the other day, so good morning.
Timing, can you?
How are you, Judge?
I'm well, thank you very much. And I'm here to answer any questions if you have them, but basically, we did not have all we needed in the plan that we had before. Plus, Westlaw had somehow gotten Judge Peeler on 2 plans.
Cool.
So we're double paying for Peeler and not paying for more. They're going to do a little refund, and they're actually lowering the cost from $644, I think, to $540.
Okay.
And this would include all the district court judges, all the county court at law judges, and Judge Rucker, the presiding regional judge.
Okay.
Since it was a change, I'd like to have your approval.
We appreciate you notifying us of that.
Thank you.
And she,
Also, I don't know what the contract they sent said, but it seems silly to call it the county court at law judges when it's really just Midland judges. So I think the name would be more appropriately just Midland judges, if that's all right with y'all.
it's fine with us. It's their contract.
Yeah.
Make a motion to approve this contract with Westlaw.
Okay.
Just to let you know, Judge Moore's name is on the contract, so I don't know if he's the one.
It should be on the contract now.
Right.
It just wasn't on the contract to begin with.
Oh, okay. I
It should
see.
now include Moore, Peeler, Dar, Satterwhite, Lindemood, Leonard,
Oh, I see it.
Gillis, and Rucker.
Right. I see it now on the 3rd page, or what is that? Yeah.
It's just a change in the contract to make it what we
What it should have
need
been
to have
all the
and what we
time.
thought we had.
What it should have been all the time, and reduce the cost by about $100.
I will second that motion.
Who made the motion?
I did.
Randy.
Randy?
Uh-huh.
I'll mark it down accordingly. Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you very much.
14, knowledge training hours received for Constable Precinct 3. Mr. Rowland. Good morning.
Good morning.
And I guess, Jeff, you have the documents? Okay. Thank you.
Thanks. Morning, Jeff. Thank you.
Morning.
Okay, you got the tasing, good.
To begin with, acknowledgement of training hours.
Yes, sir.
The Attorney General's Open Meetings and Public Information Act, both 1 hour. Bill Blackwood Lemet New Constables course, 40 hours. Bill Blackwood Lemet Body Worn Cameras, 2 hours. The Lubbock County Sheriff's Office Canine Encounters, 4 hours. TCOL Law Update General, 4 hours. The law update for specifically open carry, 1 hour. And then TASER end user for 26P, 4 hours.
Okay. And that completes all your required educational, is that correct?
I still have one outstanding that I'm scheduled for on June 1st.
Okay, and how many hours will that be?
It'll be 4.
Okay. So other than that, he has completed them. Certificates are accompanied. Any questions or a motion of acknowledgement?
I'll make that motion to acknowledge the training hours received.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 15, discuss take action on line item transfer from Constable Precinct 30 salary line to law enforcement supplies, weapons and ammo, office supplies and uniforms. Constable Rowe.
Yes, Commissioners. It's stated that needing to move anything from salary needs y'all's approval. The Constable's office with my predecessor was left some issues, and we have a unique ability today to handle all those issues in a way that actually affects Midland County with $0 extra. It was already budgeted in the salary line item. If we could move those, it'll be able to completely fix all the issues that were left.
Okay, are you telling us that the salary line was over budgeted?
Not over budgeted. With it being open and vacant for 100 days, that amount of money was not used.
The accumulation of the money, okay.
Correct.
But was the other, let's talk about weapons and ammo and uniforms, were they under budgeted?
Correct, Your Honor. Uniforms, there's currently 0 for the patches or embroidery. So if you can get uniform shirts, jackets, anything like that, as you can see today, they will remain blank. And for the public view and officer safety, it's one of those things where the uniform needs to be able to be distinct whenever making service.
The packet that you just gave us, page number 2, is that what that's?
Yes.
This is what it's about? Okay, thank you.
Okay.
And specific to the weapons and ammunition, the office actually has AR-15 that's for its use. Currently, that is not able to be used at all. There are TCOL rules. Out of the 5 distinct areas in TCOL, you have pistol, patrol rifle, precision rifle, shotgun, and automatic weapon. Somehow, the AR-15 that was designated for the Precinct 3 office was originally ordered as an automatic version. Therefore, it's unable to be used in its current state.
It's a fully automatic version.
Yes, sir. Without having more training, upkeep on the weapon, the ammunition price is higher. You have to have updated training certificates, and then even the instructors to sign off on your proficiency have to have higher credentials.
Okay, Constable, you had asked for a separate item on this, and I'd responded to you.
Yes,
You could
sir.
start that conversation with your commissioner and let him represent to the court. Now, especially do it that way for the weapon because of its automatic nature, which is news to all of us. So,
Correct.
Okay. Go ahead.
So as it stands right now, the office has, for the constable to use, 0 intermediate weapon. So besides the short range, as far as the firearm for a pistol, there's no intermediate range weapon or secondary weapon at all.
Okay, what are the weapons you have now that you're allowed to use with your training?
As it stands right now, the only weapon is my provided pistol.
And that's a county-provided pistol, or did you bring that?
Personally.
Personal. And it's a what?
9mm.
SIG?
The pistol is M&P 9.
Okay.
And the reason that I was looking specifically at this 6-hour MPX 9mm is so that across the board for the constable's office, it'll actually, in the long run, lower the cost due to the intermediate weapon being able to shoot the same caliber as my pistol. It'll be able to qualify the same way too. This is a firearm that has an intermediate distance, yet it's not actually qualified as a rifle.
Okay.
So the qualifications, certifications, trainings will still follow under pistol.
Okay.
So you will actually be able to, with certifications, training, and ammo all the way across the board, be uniform. And that in the long term will actually lower cost.
Okay. And then Justin, you back there? He's asking for a LaserJet all-in-one color, black and white printer, scanner, copier, fax machine. Do we have any of those in your department?
Anything that we get like that is going to be well-used and deemed unusable.
Okay, so there's none remaining in your budget. Is there money in your budget to acquire one of these?
Yes, we can get him one.
Okay.
All right. I appreciate that, Judge. That's one of those issues as well. Due to the state of the office, whenever I took over, currently the only thing is one black and white printer.
Okay.
So it's just bringing up to capabilities.
Well, as far as your request in total, that's a discussion among the court, but I think they would agree. We typically will go to IT to get equipment because they have buying power and know what's there. So I would ask for consideration to extract the laser printer. He can get that.
Absolutely.
Through through Justin's efforts at IT. But the rest of it, now here's the big question. Madam Auditor, we're talking about taking money out of salary.
Okay. Salary is Mitzi, but I will tell you what's available already. In the lines that he is requesting, in the weapons line, we have $300. In the uniforms line is $300.
Okay.
In the office supplies line, he currently has $200. Law enforcement supplies, I know that we started the year off with $1,610, and $1,604 has been spent. I believe it was a taser that you purchased out of that line.
Okay.
A couple of incidental items besides the taser.
Okay, what was that category, the last one, please?
Law enforcement supplies.
Has how much left?
$6.
Yeah, it's dollars. It's like $50 or something like that.
All right. Okay, gentlemen.
Do you have that much excess in salary line?
No, sir, I don't. I wasn't asked to find any numbers for you. What I would know that we would have would be 3 full months, October, November, and December, because all 12 months were budgeted, and he started January the 1st.
I have a question in general. Jeffrey, how does this affect our upcoming budget? Is this instead of that, or because there was zero to begin with, or what is the situation?
The situation with the upcoming budget is basically this is going to clear up where that is going to be almost just the standard minimal numbers, because some of the itemized list, specifically under like law enforcement, the first aid, the generic tape, it's mainly so that along with the weapon, the first aid kit, and like the body armor, as I'm through the community, as it stands right now, there are certain calls that come out over the radio where I absolutely could be the first one on scene, and not necessarily ignoring it, but because of lack of equipment, I actually would be in the way right now if I went to those scenes.
Right. Jeffrey, would these items bring you to less than all the other constables have, more than constables have? Is it different than in any way than the other?
This would actually bring up to where my office would be about even right now with the other 3 constables. like I said, whenever I took over, for example, the printer, black and white only, no fax machine, no scanner. The car, it had a spare tire, no other equipment. One of the firearms, unusable. It's trying to bring it up basically to where it's even and where I can proceed forward.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Just kind of going off with what Randy's saying, Jeff, regarding the upcoming budget, if we were to approve all this that's in front of us right now, you will not be requesting this for the budget in 17, 18. Am I understanding you correctly? You said that it would be a minimal.
Correct.
Just a regular.
Like for uniforms going down, because like the patches, you have to buy a lot of 100. So for the printer and the patches and embroidery, that's how come I don't have any actual figures. Those are estimates.
Right.
Because you have to buy a certain lot. So of course, like the patches then could go on the standard like $300 amount a year, just shirts, things like that.
So then my follow-up question to that, is it going to be enough to cover what you're looking for?
Yes, sir. My math, whenever I just generically spoke without actually having the treasurer get figures, I just spoke with her generically over the phone. The rough estimate was $15,400 from the 100 days that were open, and I'm only requesting $12,000.
So when you say 15,000, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're referring to. The 15,000, what is
the
that?
unused salary at the end. And whenever you remove now the printer, it would go down to 11.
Well, Constable, what I've got using balances that the auditor just gave me, unless I misheard her, and I'm taking out the weapon because that's a separate discussion. I'm getting about $9,500. And then that would be plus the weapon, whatever Luis, you and the constable come up with.
Well,
this is the first time I've heard of it, so that's why I'm asking these questions now, because I have no idea.
As it stands right now, I've actually, the uniform line, the printing line, and the office supply line, I've actually got quotes for things right now. I was actually waiting to get these at these numbers approved so that it would actually cut down on the shipping charges as well.
Jeff, the other question that I have, and we do this across the board with everybody in the county, one thing that, and I always request this, before we continue on anything, I'd like to see invoices because we need to make sure, whenever we're doing budgets, we ask for invoices anyway for,
quotes.
I'm sorry, quotes, let me take that back. That way we have an idea of what we're doing instead of just saying, I'm gonna give you $3,000 and then from there spend it on whatever you need. Well, that's why we try to get the quotes ahead of time. That way we know how much it is before we move forward with it. So you just mentioned that you have some invoices and some quotes, right?
Yes,
Okay.
correct.
If you can provide that to us, that would definitely help us out.
Okay.
Okay, that would be real good. So what do you think you can get those to us today, or?
I can get you what I have.
Okay.
I mean, clearly stated some of this.
Sure.
I was not going to ask other companies to do work without having some kind of go-ahead, because this is a kind of a laundry list of items to bring my office up to. So I didn't want to make someone else do work at a business and then, well, sorry about that.
I understand, but just to be fair.
The invoices that I have now are just for what were in the budget already.
Okay.
Let me break it out a minute. I would ask for the court to look favorably upon the laser jet, because that can be done today without affecting his budget, and he's asked for it, and it's easy to do. The weapon, the automatic weapon, I'd ask you to turn that in to Christie, and you and Louise start the discussion of what you want to get to replace it. And thanks for discovering it was automatic. That would have been another conversation nobody wanted. So
absolutely, we're lucky to date that we didn't have to answer any other questions.
The other thing that stands out to me of your request is uniforms. How many uniforms do you have now, or how many that you would show up on a scene? Can you properly identify yourself? with what you have right now?
Yes, I've been making do with what I have right now. It's mainly as far as that line item was as far as looking for the next years and the future budgets, like the patches to go on other.
All right, so, okay, Commissioner Sanchez?
Is this something that we can bring up at next court? Because I really do want to get all the information, the backup for this before we approve anything. Or is it something that you need to have now? For example, the laser printer, we can get that.
Right.
I mean, immediately.
I mean, I'm not totally opposed. Like I said, it was just one of those things where it was a question altogether.
Sure, I understand. And we're going to move forward with
whereas with a regular, just if it was already in my budget, the line item transfer alone.
Right.
Then after that, I would have been able just to get the quotes. So that's the way I looked at it this time. And things like extra flashlights, the first aid kit. I mean, there are some things that technically I wouldn't choose to wait till the next commissioner's court if we could go ahead and get those, because those are not only officer safety but service of the public. So, I mean, I'm not
So what we can do right now, Jeff, right now with what the auditor just told us, some of the money that you have within your budget, if you want, you can use that up, can make a line item transfer to get those things, and in the meantime, you and I can work on getting the...
That's actually what I was getting at. As it stands right now, I'm looking at those as zero in my, I simply was waiting to forward with those until I knew about this, because I have a quote for the entire $300 weapons for, right now, all it is for ammo and a couple of spare magazines for the pistol. The printing, I have a quote right now from Rainbow Press for all of that. The uniforms, I've already got. Okay. So technically, I'm looking at those as zeros right now.
So can we wait till the next Commissioner's Court, which will fall on June 12th? It'll be in about 3 weeks, just because of the way the weeks fall, because it's the second and fourth Monday, and we're going to have an extra Monday this month.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, that's y'all's decision. I was basically looking at trying to wrap up the initial get ready, get even with the office before needing to submit next budget.
And we can get there. It's not a problem. We still have a ways to go before the next budget starts. But my question is, is it okay for you to wait 3 weeks, and then we can, because I really want to discuss this with you before we move forward.
Rory, in our bulk buying of ammunition, do you have any 9mm that's not assigned?
Yes, sir.
Could you lend a hand?
Yes, sir, we can, Judge.
Okay. And the other thing that on here, Jeff, that stands out, you're asking for a bulletproof vest. Do you not have one right now?
That's correct.
Okay. So we got ammunition, and we've got laser printer. And if you would, do you have enough money to buy the vest right now in combining these lines?
There's
negative
indicating that whatever's in these lines, he's already spent.
He's already spent. Okay. Okay. $1,300. Sheriff, is that about what we're paying for those vests? $1,300?
Judge?
This one's Point Blank Alpha Elite Black.
I don't know, we've been buying that, but they're running about $900.
Okay.
Is what we've been paying for them.
Okay. Thank you.
What happened to all the equipment that was in that office?
The one question that I can't answer, Commissioner Prude, is what happened to the car. We went through about 3 cars in that office before the gentleman left.
In other words, all the equipment that existed doesn't exist anymore? It's gone?
I can't answer that, Constable Rowland, maybe the sheriff's office, maybe Vector can give us some guidance, but we picked up 3 cars, and I don't mean hand the keys. We took them off of stumps and potholes and other things. John, was there any equipment left? Are you in possession of surplus equipment?
No.
Judge, my name's John Warren, of course. There was nothing left in the vehicle whenever we received it. All 3 of the vehicles that he had during the time, there was nothing left in it.
There's your answer.
We don't have anything in the possession.
Well, my question is to the court, is it illegal for stuff that the court buys for it to disappear?
Generally, yeah. It's kind of how you'd look at it, wouldn't you?
We'd have to go back and pull an inventory on it.
If I can make a recommendation, if you have a list of the things that...
We do.
Then write him a letter and give him 10 days to provide it.
Christie?
I did inventory that office on Ted's last day, and I do have that document. I can provide it to you.
Document, but none of the stuff.
No, I'm not, no, I don't have any of the stuff. It was all locked in the office.
I mean, I don't think we consider spoils of war when you leave office, do we, Sheriff? Never mind.
And if I may address that a little bit, the small inventory that was provided, those items were present and have been being put to use. There was other things that never made it to that inventory to begin with.
Right.
But,
so he felt obliged to inventory what he felt like.
If I may offer, Commissioner, we've solved, you're going to have a discussion of weapons. We have solved the issue of the printer and the ammunition, and perhaps by asking around, we might come up with a vest, but those life safety things are important. And
I'm just wondering where all the weapons went. I mean, I know where they went.
But whatever you'd like to do, you'll just make a motion and we'll go from there.
I'm gonna leave it up to the court. I mean, we're having this discussion, so it's up to you guys. I just want to make sure that we're fair across the board. I mean, that's what we ask usually, so I'm just stating what we've talked about.
I think your bulletproof vest and what was the other thing?
The printer, the bulletproof vest, and
ammunition are done.
And the ammunition.
You'll need a conversation about the weapon so you can bring it to court as has been our history. It needs to go because it's automatic. So.
Sure.
Okay.
Do you have and now I know I asked this, but the quote for the weapons, is that the one that you were saying that you didn't get yet?
The weapon as it stands right here, no.
Okay.
Constable, are you aware of the suppliers that we use that we get substantial discounts?
Yes, for what is listed here with the dollar items that are listed here are from the places that we do have supply with.
Okay.
The vendors.
These are the numbers that they gave you?
Correct.
Oh, okay, so you've already, so this
spoken
is a
with in general, but not gotten a full quote, a printable quote.
Oh, okay, I got you. So this is just a verbal quote?
Correct.
Okay, and that's all I was requesting, just to make sure that we had enough to cover it. I mean, that's really all I was looking for, so.
If you want to go ahead and get him up to date with the other constables, I think that'd be appropriate.
Sure, absolutely, absolutely. So the amount is, did you have an amount on the unused?
Yes, sir.
Was it the 15,000 or?
There'd be about $13,215 in the salary line, and the burden amounts to just over $6,000, so that's attached to that.
That makes it 19,000.
So then how much should we move over?
If you move things out of burden and salary, but salary alone, there should be 13.2 in there.
I'm just playing around with the numbers I've got and knowing one discounted item that's not reflected here. I've got it at about 9,500, and if that doesn't do it, we got another court meeting,
Okay.
so.
I'll make a motion that we move $9,500 from the unused salary, from the salary line item, to be able to cover this request.
Okay, effective when today?
Effective immediately.
Okay. Have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion passes. Thank you.
If I may, the 9,500 that you indicate, could you break it out for me into what lines are supposed to be, so that we can have it noted for the minutes, please?
Okay, can the commissioners and the constables at a disadvantage because they got to go break that number down. Can we hold that and add it at the end of court, please?
Sure.
Okay. So if you'll get
Absolutely.
together before you leave, and we can enter it into the record.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank
y'all.
you.
Thank you.
Number 16, discuss take action on award of RFP 17MCO 523 seal coating. And Christie, I'm looking at the bid, but I don't know how many miles.
I believe we estimated on the bid there were 19.1 miles. Is that right?
Okay, 20 miles.
Yes.
All right, go ahead.
We received one response from Jones Brothers, and that was $47,872 per mile.
Okay. And they meet all the requirements of what we've asked for.
They did.
All right.
That basically comes to $914,355.20, and this price is significantly less than what we paid in 2015, just to note.
And what roads do these cover? Is there a list of roads?
This was a seal coat list that y'all provided to me, I believe.
Yeah.
I've got that list.
I haven't seen that
can get it
list.
to you in just a second. I don't have it with me right now, but I can get it.
That list, I mean, I'd really like to see what we're covering, because I have no idea. I haven't.
Okay, let's take care of the first thing.
Okay.
There's the bid. Are we going to award the bid? Then we can get to the miles.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't vote for it because I don't know what we're voting for, so I'll have to abstain.
Do you have internet access? I mean,
Yes,
can you get to the
I do.
Midland County
Yes, ma'am.
homepage? I can come show you how
Sure,
to get to the
can you?
Midland County. Uh-huh.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm voting on, so.
Okay, we're going to take a musical interlude here for a minute. I think it's just a tag on from where we left off last time.
Kind of excruciating. Okay, never mind. Sing it, baby. All right.
Would you please not try to take my place on court humor?
Yeah, it's
Sorry,
about time for you to
Commissioner.
do this again, Randy.
Well, Sheriff, let's just, for entertainment, let's have a
Well, I have some
Texas
jokes if you-
legislative report.
Human resources is here, Randy.
Russell.
Do what now?
Human resources is here, so you can't.
No, she's not. Actually, she's not.
Mr. Bryan, I believe you're present. Do you know what roads you were asked to bid on?
I did not bring a copy of those with me. There were several roads included.
But they're in Midland County, that's the main. There's the answer we're looking for.
I will say, if you want to be entertained, the Texas legislature is in full force, and you can go to the House or the Senate and watch it live stream, and it's quite interesting to see what's going on in our
I
state.
think a little further down. Yeah, I saw some roads there. Right there.
Sales tax is up to 2%.
Yeah, got it.
It is?
Thank you, Kristen.
Are we through with our musical interlude?
Almost.
Sales tax is up 2% this month.
As long as we're waiting, we dodged Senate Bill 2, which was a great sound bite. It sounded warm and fuzzy and would absolutely annihilate the taxpayer.
We're not through yet. Let's not,
I'm counting it.
we're holding our breath.
And the no new unfunded mandates bill is still being held up in the Senate, is that correct?
That is correct.
Yeah.
Not by our senator, though. By
Thank you. I think I've got it.
You ready?
Good?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
I'd make the motion that we
you're going to approve
let
the bid.
the bid to Jones Brothers for the $47,872 per mile.
Okay, and that is for approximately how many miles, Commissioner?
20
miles.
$914,355.20.
Okay, and that is as, the roads are as depicted on Christie's bid sheet. Okay?
Thank you.
You may have already said this, but these are additional roads than the ones that we've already done that were the 60-foot right-of-ways and so forth.
This is just seal coating.
Seal coating.
Are we finished with that program?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. With the paving? Yes.
Yes.
Okay. We have
Second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you, Mr. Bryant. Number 17, discuss take action on proposed Midland County Firearms Training Range. And Russell, you have this agreement and you've cleared the agreement, right?
Yes, sir. I actually made substantial changes to it, and I believe that, as I recall, all of the changes have been accepted.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Sheriff?
Yes, sir. This is on 17, to discuss the Midland County Firearms Training Range. You have backup in your possession. This is a firearms range that is a Jones Brothers caliche pit on a 5-acre lot north of town. You have a picture of it. The second page is a picture of it. Gives you a location of where it's at. We have been using it part-time. It is leased to TR2, a safety company, and we're subleasing from TR2. That would be allowing the sheriff's office to go out and build a firearms range and use it for training for our law enforcement officers and our jailers. We've been having problems with the city for the last 5 or 6 years. I say problems, not really problems. They're getting more and more people, and they're using the range more and more to stay up with TCO training and with other training they need for the special people. We need some training area also. We need it not when they want us to, but when we need it. And we find ourselves in conflict on several dates that they've given us and several times. We tried to arrange around it. Then we go out to get started on the range, and then we get called off and postponed and whatnot. And it's become a hassle, become a problem. What we're hoping and what we're asking the court to do is to approve this lease today on the range, or on the proposed range north of town. That will give the sheriff's office the opportunity to use it when we want it, and stay up to date on the training for our jailers and for our peace officers. We will provide, we're going to ask for some money for later on for building, what do you call it? For
Taj Mahal.
Well, not a Taj Mahal. I certainly don't go get that. But there's another agenda item on here that we're going to go for that. But it'll give us an opportunity to build shooting targets, the target frames and all that. We using wood. There'll be very little concrete. We'll be using it to drive them into the ground, put them in there that will be, won't be a permanent, necessarily a totally permanent structure, but give us the opportunity to use them as we need, and provide a place for the officers to go out and relax whenever they get through shooting, clean their weapons, to have some kind of training in there, and safety training. And we will be using it strictly with very strict safety rules in effect. And as you can see from the contract, there are some in there that are required, and we have agreed to that. Now, this particular lease, set for whatever term that the court chooses to be written in, and up to 30 years, and to give us the opportunity. It's a $10 amount, and it won't be a very, it'd be a very long, I hope, very long procedure that we stay there.
Who was the original lease from?
Jones Brothers are the people that own it, and
Okay.
TR2 is currently the lessee.
Right, and are they aware that this is going to be the use of the Jones Brothers is aware?
Yes, sir.
So in other words, they don't object to the sublease. Sometimes people object to a sublease.
There are no objections.
Okay.
From this end, anyway.
Right. Very good.
Sheriff, just for the record, let me add this. Jones Brothers has been mentioned in connection with this. Please let the record show this is an item that has been off and on our agenda as we're getting information for more than 3 courts. It is in no way related to the Jones Brothers bid for seal coating. So, Sheriff, this shooting range, it can be locked off where inappropriate users can't just drive up to it, is that right?
It has a locked gate there now, yes, sir.
Okay. And should the court go forward with this, Dwayne, we want to make sure you get the appropriate insurances moved over there to cover it, and I think it's a pretty good idea, actually.
Yeah, I think it'd be a very beneficial use for the sheriff's office, for the jail. Give us the opportunity to go out and do the training when we need it and the way we need it done.
And it's limited to you and your immediate command, is that correct?
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Okay, it's not going to be loaned out to the boys' club or anything?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Dwayne, you were going to say something?
As far as insurance, we're ready to go on that. Whenever the signature is made, we're ready to put insurance right on it.
All right, very good. Any other questions?
Well, congratulations. This is a good idea.
Thank you. Thank you. A lot of people have worked hard on this, and we appreciate it. Russell, thank you very much.
Sheriff, Lieutenant Colson, the email that you forwarded to me on cost.
Yes, sir.
On that indicated that the county would only be held, the cost to the county would be about $300 for utilities.
Around $300 to $400 a month, yes, sir.
Yeah, and that was the only cost. He said that you would provide from internal funds the rest of the maintenance.
We're about $2,500 is what we spend now on targets.
Yeah.
And other items, and those will be continued to be spent from the sheriff's office.
Okay. So we're looking at about $300 to $400 a month.
Yes, sir, that is correct.
Cost. So.
And the expense that'll be used for that is primarily electricity. Yes, sir. For the building that you're fixing, that you're going to, well, there's on the agenda here in a minute.
How would you like to split the utility cost?
Just wishful on my part.
You want to split the utility cost? Can we make a deal to split the utility cost?
Why? I'm already spending $2,500. You can spend something.
We spend something every day. Haven't you heard us?
It's called a commitment, Judge, a commitment.
Okay, let's tend to the lease first. Is there a motion or further discussion?
Hang on.
Okay, that's all.
I'll make it. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Russell, you didn't have any other questions on this? So the 30 years, there is an out for it?
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I'd make the motion that we approve or allow the county judge to sign the lease with TR2 for the gun range.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks to those who made it available at a reasonable rate.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Okay, number 18, discuss take action on donation of modular building from Concho Resources to Midland County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff?
This is a building that is being donated by Concho Resources to the Midland County Sheriff's Office. You also have some pictures.
And what are you going to do with this building?
It would be used as a place for the officers to go in to get ready, to have safety meetings, and to clean their weapons, get out of the weather. And it's not going to be a place for them to lounge around or anything like that. They're going out there for business, but it'll be used for Midland County Sheriff's Office business.
Be located at the site.
It'll be located at the training, at the firearms range.
Are they going to be generous and deliver it to the site?
We have an individual that's going to deliver it and set it up, and it's all donated, and I'll provide a letter.
Okay.
As soon as I get a letter.
Who is the individual that's going to deliver it?
I don't have his full name, first name Randy. He does move mobile homes for
And if you'd just get that to the clerk so she could just put it in the record and we have an acknowledgement that they donated some time.
Gary, is it anticipated that there be any need for any additional infrastructure? Or just
Any what?
any additional infrastructure, or is this just be a freestanding situation?
No, it'll be a freestanding, they're going to have a concrete. Have some concrete footing.
In other words, we don't have to run plumbing and electricity to it?
No, sir.
Gotcha.
Now, there is the cafeteria.
Electricity.
The electricity, I'm sorry, we got to put up a pole and electricity.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
gotcha.
All right, you've heard the request. Council Resources generously donating the building for the.
Make a motion to accept the donation and with our thanks.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign, motion passes. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Number 19, discuss take action line investigator Tom Honeycutt to purchase county-issued service weapon pursuant to Texas Government Code title and subtitle A, Chapter 614.051. We've done this with a number of retiring officers.
Yes, sir. It is authorized under the statutes to allow this to occur. He has a letter, we have it in our hand, that the value is around $600.
Okay.
Or value is $600.
Yeah, and the value is $600. Who gave us the letter? I don't.
S&K Arms.
Okay. There you go.
Make a motion that we allow investigator Tom Honeycutt to purchase the county-issued service weapon pursuant to Texas Government Code Title 6, Subtitle A.
Okay.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. The amount for the record is $600. Okay. 20, discuss take action on donation $50 from Gary B. Pierce to the Midland County Sheriff's Office. Sheriff?
And you have a copy of that also. It's been sent in to the Treasurer's Office.
Okay.
Donations to the Midland County Sheriff's Office.
Okay, general use, as I recall. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Make the motion to accept the donation from Gary B. Pierce.
All right.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign.
Thank you all very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
21, thank you. Terry's already left, and subcontractors left. You'll extend our thanks to them both. Okay. 21, discuss take action on hotel rate above per diem for purchasing.
Yes, sir. The summer TXPPA conference, the hotel is out of rooms at the per diem rate of $100, and they're giving Kay a rate of $161.10.
Yep.
And we do have the money in our budget.
Yep.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Number 22, discuss take action authorizing county judge to sign RICO lease agreement. Christie.
There are multiple departments. The county clerk is going to, with 2 machines to replace 2 of their Xerox machines. They are going with 36-month agreements. The Horseshoe is going with a 48-month lease, just a different machine. They had been with RICO before. And purchasing is going with a 48-month agreement as well.
Okay. Thanks to you and Lex, you're saving us money. We appreciate that,
Yes, sir.
which means you're saving yourself and the taxpayer money.
That's correct.
Motion to approve those various leases with RICO.
Okay?
Second.
And motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. 23, discuss take action on sidewalk at courthouse. Yes, we have one.
We actually need to extend it. This wasn't budgeted for, but they do have the money, and we have a quote from Midland Construction Company for $5,184 to add a concrete sidewalk from the sidewalk that we have now to extend along with the sidewalk that runs along Tennessee.
I'm here just in case you have any questions about what we're doing.
Motion to approve the sidewalk.
Never mind.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 24, discuss take action correcting language from court item 23 on April 24th, 2017. RFP for audio video equipment and courtroom installation.
Yes, we would like to change the wording because the way we're writing the bid, we're hoping to use this RFP to purchase future needed equipment.
Yeah.
So we would like to go out for RFP on the equipment along with the installation of the courtrooms.
It just keeps her from coming back, saves us time, and should we be able to improve our pricing.
Correct.
So,
I move that we correct the language for the RFP.
Okay?
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
Thank you. 25, discuss take action on CS and CD parking lot electronic gates. We have said, look at it, come back to us, and we've all discussed, yes, we need to go to gates. So here's the fine folks that are going to tell us about the gates.
I'll stand here and
Go ahead, Justin.
I'll hold my hand like this.
All right, hold my hand. We basically went out and got a quote from Advanced Connections, including a hub parking gate system. This gate system would allow us to allow employees to enter and exit the parking lot with their key card or a windshield strip, or for the general public, it would allow us to take credit card payments for a certain amount of time used, charge for special events. And
When you say you've reached out and got these prices, Christie, that we did meet the bid requirements, is that correct?
it's all on state contract, Judge.
It's all on state contract, good to know.
This was a separate company. They weren't on state contract, so we've used our current door control vendor that can do pretty much anything.
Okay, so we're good with the bidding laws.
This will be a turnkey project if we do it, including, we're gonna have to run electrical out to this area because of the credit card machine. And we have a price and a quote.
The price again,
Wait a minute, you
please.
said it's a turnkey bid, but they're not providing the electricity.
No. Everything's turnkey in this quote, including the electrical. I'm sorry.
They're trenching for the electrical and installing it, yes.
We will contract ACI. They will then subcontract D&E Electrical and Hub Parking, and it'll be a turnkey.
Yeah.
It said that all land connections, phone line, cross connects, equipment shall be provided and installed by others, and that's,
As far as the actual Cat 5, we'll use our current contract, which is Schoonover Security, and they'll do the network piece of it.
will they bill us separately?
No, we have a current contract. We pay him a monthly flat fee, and he does these type of services.
Okay, all right.
And this money would have to come out of contingent. Well, actually, Madam Auditor, we have some money left in the capital account, so I would suggest we use it first.
Out of the capital projects?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What are the anticipated rates that we'll be charging for the public or the?
That would be up to Commissioner's Court.
What is the recommended rate?
We haven't.
You don't have anything like that, Mike?
We've got 2 or 3 loose ideas, but we really haven't done the survey yet, depending on this going forward, because it'll take a little while to do the survey.
The first phase of this should start happening probably end of the month, 1st of June. We're going to put up a fence around 3 sides of the lot and just leave all 4 exits open. When this goes in, we'll close off the 2 exits on the north side, and we'll have to restripe, which we haven't configured that in yet, but that'll come off of me. They'll go in and paint out the stripes and change them, because it'll become a circular parking lot instead of a pass-through. So we'll just change some of the striping.
We've looked at several different, as far as pricing, like the airport pricing per hour, per day. We've looked at several different things. In the end, it'd be kind of getting y'all to help us make that decision. We've also looked at renting out monthly spaces, so give somebody a stripe for their windshield. Also, for probationers that are still going to meet at this building, when you pull up to the entrance, you're going to print out a ticket, and that's going to basically start your timer. And when you run around to the exit, when you insert the ticket, that's kind of calculating you if you want to charge per time or per day. And if you're a probationer, you'll walk in the building and they'll validate the ticket, which will comp your parking.
And Randy, we've been monitoring this use over there, and it's gotten more or worse depending on which end of that conversation you're in. And now they're just parking everywhere, and even worse, they're leaving their trash over there now, so.
So you said the fence is going to have 3 sides, just the north, east, and south part, and then the west part you're going to leave open?
The west part has about
concrete,
a foot concrete abutment that joins the alley, so they can't jump over it anyway. So it's pretty, we don't need a fence on that side, on the alley side, all the way down. The vehicle can't enter from the alley side.
I was just thinking about the trash, because, you know, those trash cans are right there. You know, all that trash blowing actually into our property because it's going to be completely open.
Well,
so
it may be something we want to look at after we do that. We can add a fence to that side too if we need to.
Okay, thank you.
It's anticipated when we build the new CSCD building that we will be doing something with this facility. Is there any problem with the way we're building the fence and or the gates, that this property would go separate or together? Either way,
There is, in fact, you'll hear a little more about this shortly. No, there isn't. So
this won't create a problem of any sort for future disposition.
As far as the network goes, we may have to reconfigure that slightly because we'll be running electricity conduit into the building.
Right.
And so we'll have to reconfigure that setup.
Right. I mean, that would be the only thing we'd have to change if we were to separate the building and the parking lot, keep the parking lot and sell the building, we'd have to get another electrical source out there.
Right. Well, I can't conceive of separating them, but
if we do, we're trying to do this, the best cost we got was to run the electrical inside the building for now and the network, so we'd have to separate.
I think anybody who wants that facility would definitely want the parking lot. Otherwise, it wouldn't be worth anything.
True.
So,
yeah. Okay. Any more discussion or motion?
how much do we have in that account?
We've got several $100,000.
So plenty to do this bid?
Yes.
What is the price of the?
$139. $139.
It would cover the cost of that, yes, sir.
Well, I'd make the motion that we accept this bid for the parking lot gate project.
Okay.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Excuse me. All opposed? None. Thank you, gentlemen. 26, discuss take action authorizing county judge to sign MSISAC member agreement. Justin?
All right. I could
Just like
tell you,
this?
just like that, I could tell you as much or as little as you want to know. To be here.
Multi-state information sharing and analysis
Basically,
center.
I'm going to just give you a real quick, high-level view of what this is.
Yeah.
Feel like me and Mike, one of the things we're trying to work on this year is security. Security in the cyber world is becoming something that we need to watch more than ever, every day. Viruses are growing, coming from all different sources. This may seem a little long, but I'm going to run through something real quick. So basically here at the county, we have an address, 500 North Lorraine, correct?
Yeah.
In the IT world, we have some addresses, IP addresses that identify Midland County. We have 254 of those addresses. MSISAC was founded in the year 2000. I didn't find out about it, actually, honestly, until I went to this conference. It's a nonprofit that is now highly integrated with the Department of Homeland Security. So they have a lot of intel and resources. They have their own operations center. And all the states in the United States are offered this for free. This agreement here is free. They do have some services that are on a cost recovery basis, but as just being a general member, they will monitor those addresses if we'd like them to. They know about the latest trends and threats and what's going on and can help us just an additional piece of security and eyes on our network from the outside perspective.
Okay.
Have budgeted some money for next year, which I'd like to look at some of their services where they constantly monitor versus just periodically. But they put out a lot of white papers that are user-friendly that we could pass around to employees, provide different things that are going around the world as well.
Justin, this is a nonprofit association, essentially, right?
Yes, sir. And as far as information we give them is nothing confidential. This is all basically stuff that they will see from the outside of our network.
Okay. All right. It's free right now. It will be in next year's budget, though.
No. This is free from now on. They do have some services that at a cost recovery basis, such as putting an appliance in our network. But most everything I just listed a while ago, it's all free.
Okay.
And the membership is free. And be able to call them directly. They can call their knock anytime, ask about current things going on. And you don't have to be a member, but I encourage Midland County, because most other counties are joining this just as a way to have awareness in the security world.
Were we able to avoid the international ransomware attack this last week?
we do our best, and we have not.
As far as we know, we have not had
As far as we know, we have not had any issues. I feel like as a county as a whole, we do a pretty good job. We have firewalls, we have antivirus, we have all these layers of protection. But what we're trying to do now is add third sets of eyes from the outside to help our IT department see if something's coming in and going out. Because, as you know, viruses are evolving every day. I'm sure if y'all have heard of CryptoLocker, it is a virus that encrypts your entire file system. You no longer can just shut the computer down, put it in safe mode, and remove the virus. So if you ask me, antivirus is still important, but it is almost, it's a very underutilized tool at this point because of the complexity of how these hackers are doing things. And one of the problems we have is coming from out of country, so we have no international law to stop this. The best thing we can do is utilize, there's some third-party companies out there, or MSISAC, Dell SecureWorks, there's some other ones, to help us protect the border of the county. Because as in this little spiel that I went to when I was at the conference, she said, you know, we don't have necessarily a lot of money in the county. This is not dollars we're talking about, but birth certificates and other records, that's a value on the black market. And we're trying to protect. As soon as we plug in the internet, then we have an issue. And I feel like we're doing a good job. I mean, we had a small couple isolated incidents, but nothing, I don't want us to ever have one.
Okay.
I'd make the motion that we authorize the county judge to sign the MSISAC member agreement.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 27, discuss take action on Midland County backup policy. This is for IT. Morning, Mike.
Good morning. This is a very simple document / policy. This has been in place, I guess unofficially, for quite a while. Whenever we have the external auditors come through, they ask for copies of a few of our different policies, and I thought we'd go ahead and get this one adopted so it's kind of quote-unquote official. I can give you the highlights if you want. It just outlines how we back up, how we retain data, and how we are going to attempt to recover from a disaster should one ever happen. Like I said, it's very simple, very straightforward. And just as a heads up, in comparison to this, or in contrast to this, there's some other documents that are coming, probably in the coming courts, that we're going to ask for adoption as well. And they're going to be an information security policy and an incident response policy. And they're very long, they're very complicated, they're very detailed. I will give out copies to department heads prior to bringing them to court because they are going to start to institute things that not everybody's going to like complex passwords and things like that. But as Justin was saying, it's just the world we live in. We have to take every precaution we can in how we handle security. So I've created the base documents for all those. Justin is going to go through and get another set of eyes on it, put the finishes on them, run them through some of our third parties, our insurance, things like that. And when we feel like they're ready, we'll bring them back for adoption. So just as a heads up. But any questions about the backup policy, I'll be happy to answer.
He's correct. We've been operating under it for a little while. It's served us well. Here it is in black and white.
I'd make the motion that we adopt the backup policy.
Okay.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 28, discuss take action on courthouse generator and emergency power. This is due to an incident we had in the last week. Mike?
Yeah, at this point, I would recommend that we just keep it as a discussion because we don't really have a clear path right now. This all kind of evolves around the data center, at least from where I'm coming. Of course, if the building loses power and the generator fails, we have other problems where we can't operate court. All the elevators will be down, that sort of thing. But for my purpose here today, I just want to keep the focus on the data center. Our design today is to centralize everything, and we've got some redundancy over at the annex, but it's just too costly to replicate everything over there and immediately fail over. So we have a single point of failure right now, which we've always had with our generator, and although it's mostly been given its age, it's been a very reliable unit. It wouldn't start during our weekly tests. When we reached out to Warren Cat, which is the manufacturer, they initially told us it'd be about 2.5 days before they could come service the unit. The problem with all that is if we lose power to the data center, we have between 40 and 45 minutes before the batteries are exhausted in the battery backup system. Coincidentally, it takes about that long to do a graceful shutdown of the entire data center. And obviously, we want to avoid that if we can, just because of all the services we have running out of the facility. Phones would be about the only thing, honestly, that would remain up. All of our other applications today would shut down. So we're talking about the sheriff's office, Culver, Spillman, the library if it's after hours. Not this last Friday, but the Friday before, we had a squirrel just across the street sacrifice himself in order to kill power here for about 2.5 hours. And that would have been an incident. Should our generator not have been functioning, we would have shut down. There's been some discussion on how we can handle CAT, what we can do, cannot do. CAT ultimately did come back and get the unit running that day. But, at the end of the day, from my perspective, wherever the blame falls afterwards, if the equipment doesn't start and we go down, that starts a big issue for us. I wanted to give a big thumbs up to John out at Vector. I didn't know that he had the experience he did with CAT. And I guess when he learned about what was going on, he came out and he was actually about to start servicing the equipment on the engine side to get it going when CAT finally did show up. But he has a very long history with CAT. We've kind of learned some things about the company that they may or may not be replacing filters. We know at least they're not marking them, so there's really no way to police to know if they are or not. But John did an excellent job and just kind of keeping checks on everything. And we're going to, with the help of facilities, transition all of the management of all of our generators over to John. So he's going to be the primary point of contact with CAT. He's going to be able to oversee the maintenance, making sure they're doing things properly. I'm really excited about the service here that he's going to be doing. But back on the courthouse, with the single point of failure with the generator, I think we should develop both a short and a long-term plan. The short-term plan is more or less in motion today as part of the power plan that you guys approved. We have a new plug downstairs where we could plug in an external generator to power our stuff if need be. It's not 100% complete yet. There's been some delays because of the manufacture of the new battery equipment. But when that's done in the coming months, if the CAT generator fails and we lose power, we'll be able to roll up a generator on the back of the courthouse and plug it in and continue to operate. The only kind of problem I have with that is if we don't have something readily available physically here in terms of a roll-up generator, 40 minutes, in my opinion, is just simply not enough time to get something here, even if it's across town. So again, not looking for a decision today, but what's kind of been thought of is we'll relocate a generator and keep it here, keep it plugged in, test it weekly like we do the other, keep it ready to go. Maybe do some temporary fencing or something to help combat theft. But that would at least allow, in theory, someone enough time to come down here and start this second generator up. Long term, the only thing we can, truly think of is eliminate that single point of failure. So we know that the generator here back during construction of the building was very much oversized. It's much, much larger than what we need. So maybe one of the thoughts would be to remove this one and replace it with 2 smaller generators, or perhaps just add an additional smaller generator. we're not really sure, but anything critical, any facility that's critical, a hospital or, they're depending on life support, that kind of thing, they have at least 2 generators because at that point, you no longer have a single point of failure. So power goes out, first generator fails to start up, in theory, the second one statistically should come online. So that's kind of where we're at, what we're hopefully looking to gain, down the line. Any questions from anything or any thoughts? We're happy to kick them around.
What kind of power, would you want natural gas or diesel or butane, or what kind of generator power are you thinking about?
Today, I'd say diesel, just because it's, we've got fuel contracts already, it's readily available.
What about natural gas in terms of?
I'm open to anything.
Always being available? What do you think, Tim?
We can't use natural gas here because we don't have a meter for this building. This building is total electric.
Okay.
So we have no gas available.
Gotcha.
So we have to go with diesel.
Gotcha.
But part of what we've asked John to do at Vector is to take a look at all the generators we have. We have a couple of different brands. Make some recommendations to us, and then that's when the court would need to act based on those recommendations. But I'm with Mike. John, we want to thank you immensely because you gave us some comfort when we thought we saw all the documents going out the window. So thanks very much. And I might add, I don't know if it was totally right, but it was a great deal of it right. When John arrived and Kat had not even started and they opened up the panel and John went over and looked at it and said, it's this and some other things. And it was that and some other things. So I don't know that he's magic, but he knew how the machine was supposed to work. So.
Yeah, there's no question he's very experienced with it.
Yeah. So, okay, unless you have more questions for Mike, we just want to make sure everybody knew about that.
Yeah, just kind of a heads up that it's, whatever it is, it's not going to be pretty, unfortunately.
Okay, not hearing any, let's go to 29. Discuss, take action on Caterpillar truck. Now, John and Felipe, y'all are up.
Good morning.
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 Good morning again.
You want to get a call?
Will.
Yeah.
I'll do it right after they go through.
I'll let John kind of explain to you what's happening with this truck.
Basically, since the day one that we bought it, there's actually 2 problem trucks. From day one, we've had issues with the ECMs in them not communicating with one another. They'll work one day they won't. We've taken them to war in Caterpillar several times. They've overlaid the wiring harnesses. In other words, they spliced wiring into them, trying to get them to where they can bypass the ECMs to make them communicate with one another. Okay, once the warranty ran out on it, well, then they decide, okay, now let's replace everything and charge the county for it. Well, of course, y'all know I didn't agree with that one bit. So we've been in battle with them about it. They'll do things to it. They'll give it back to us. We use it one day. Check engine light will come on. It derates the engine down to 5 miles an hour, and the driver can't even hardly get off the road with it. So we've been back and forth with Caterpillar on it. This is as of Friday. I had a discussion with them, and right now we're, with y'all's approval, I have got them to where they want to try to buy the trucks back. They agree that there's an issue with them.
Excuse me.
They want to stand behind the product that they sell, even if it's a failed product. So he said he would let me know by Wednesday exactly how much, what we're going to do, and then I'll present that back to y'all. But in the meantime, Felipe's still got a job to do, and these trucks just aren't capable of doing it, and it's putting him farther and farther behind. And we want to try to alleviate him on that while we proceed with Russell and Caterpillar on getting them to buy these trucks back.
And besides they don't work, they become an actual danger to the person driving them.
Yes, sir.
And so, Felipe, do I have this right? You're asking, after our conversation the other day, you're asking the court just to get you some good functioning trucks today.
Yes, sir.
And these are unbudgeted items, so they don't have to come out of something.
Yes, sir, but I got the money to at least buy one. I did the figures.
Okay, we need you to come to court every week then, so. But that's the setup, and then John, whatever deal we can make that's beneficial, we'll replenish that line item with those. Dale, you were going to say something?
Yes, sir. Something to add to what John's saying about those trucks. I have worked some fires on these, not ours, but on other Caterpillar trucks in the last year or so that have been caused by the wiring harnesses.
Yep.
So John and I have had talks about that after I come in, after we've had these fires. So that's something to look at on these also.
Okay, Felipe, you got, what kind of truck are you looking for? What kind of trucks are you looking
Well, we're looking at, and we talked to them, it's a Mack truck for Buckner's.
Okay. And how much does this little jewel cost?
It's $137,205.
Is that for two or a dozen?
That's just
or
one.
each? That's one, huh?
Oh, my gosh.
Let me say one thing on that. Originally, they wanted 148 on the truck. I renegotiated the warranty with them. We actually wound up getting 50 more 1,000-mile warranty with them, and basically I had them readjust their figure on how much it was going to cost. So they wound up dropping the price $11,000 on it because they kind of overcharged for their warranties, so I kind of pointed that out with them as to where it was overcharged, and then they came back and readjusted it back to 137.
Okay.
And we got 50 more 1,000-mile warranty, so these trucks that we're getting now, instead of having to turn them out at 100 or 100,000, these trucks now are going to be fully warranted to 250 going with Mack.
John, would you go into why we're doing the Mack trucks?
Well, really because of their warranty, their service, the reliability of the truck.
What we're talking about is using the belly dump trailers?
Yes, sir.
You want to explain that?
Well, the belly dump that we have now that Caterpillar rigged up, you can only hook their truck to it. So what Mack is going to do is they're basically going to reconfigure that trailer so that that's part of the cost. Basically they're doing it for us buying the truck, but we'll be able to hook any truck. If a truck breaks down, we can grab another truck off the line, hook it to that trailer, and use it again.
But this is Mack's the only one that we can do this with,
yes,
right?
Yes, Mack International doesn't offer it. No other company does except for Mack.
So if we don't do the Macks, then we got to replace the belly dump.
The belly dumps.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Yes,
and by going with this, like I said, their warranty is 3 times what anybody else has, and they actually have a warranty that you can use.
Okay. That's good. You're running some Macs now. They've been very serviceable.
They've been very good.
Right. Christy, you're dancing back there. What is it?
I would just like to point out that this quote from Bruckner's is based off of a buy-board contract, so we would not need to bid that out.
Okay, thank you very much. So you have a request at $137,000?
Yes, sir.
That's times 2.
Yes, sir.
And you're telling us you have 137 in your budget somewhere?
Yes, sir.
Does it hamstring your job duties by using this money?
No, sir. I still will have in my budget enough to continue my department.
Okay. Russell?
We're agendized about the Caterpillar trucks, but I don't know if we have an agenda item to actually do this purchase.
Well, we were talking about it in terms of Caterpillar. If we got rid of the trucks, we have to replace it. Is that not permissible?
No, we really need to agendize that item, and if it can't wait until the next meeting, we can always do a special meeting this week. We still have time for that.
Okay, I think based on what the county attorney's telling us, I think it's safe to assume we're going to get 2 trucks, and then we'll figure out what to do. In light of the accidents we've seen with these trucks burning up, is this fall under the emergency request?
Well, I'm not suggesting we continue using the Caterpillar trucks. I'm just saying to...
No. We're just saying if we don't,
our belly dumps.
we can't do any road work with the extra equipment.
Right, but No, not being able to do the road work is not an emergency.
Okay, so you're advising the court to re-agendize this. Okay, I think that's what'll happen. I think you can go ahead and plan on 2 trucks.
Okay, we'll get you all the numbers and everything.
I'm assuming that.
Yeah, is there any, do you want to try to meet in 3 days? Or is this?
We can actually recess today till in the morning.
But we still can't agenda.
I know, I just thought of that as I said it, but we still haven't done it. I was hoping you'd go on vacation, no? No, yeah, we'll have to re-agendize it 72 hours, so it makes it Thursday at the earliest. Okay.
We'll have you all the numbers and everything.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Okay, 30, discuss take action on fleet accidents. Dwayne? Sir?
Nothing.
Good. 31, take action acknowledging personnel memorandum. Mitzi?
Yes, sir. You should have the payroll change summary in front of you. I just wanted to call a couple of things to your attention. The very first item on there is a new hire in juvenile detention. I'd like to point out that they were hired at a 14.3 without coming to court. The juvenile department is able to do that, but I need you to be aware of it. Should they run out of salary money?
No, I have a question on that. They're allowed to hire whoever they want to, but they're being paid under county policy, Russell. Don't they have to notify?
I believe that's still their decision.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So we technically don't have a say-so on even like their, it's going to come up here in a minute, their line item transfers?
Correct.
We won't be able
As long as it
to.
fits within the money that we budgeted.
So when we say budgeted money, it's the total amount. So
Yes.
any
amount.
lines that we make, none of that matters, right?
No, sir.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing is the overtime that you see towards the bottom of the page. All of the overtime paid in juvenile detention, they paid for with state funds. The elections overtime is the time we're allowed to pay them just while they're working on an actual election. So that's by policy. And everything else is by the policy. The overtime we pay in patrol are those hours we pay at straight time from 160 to 171.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
All right.
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. 32, discuss take action on budget line item transfers.
Yes, sir. Good morning. I do have some exceptions this morning on the line item transfers. One, just to bring to your attention, page 10 of 33, line item transfer 5652. That's the one that I mentioned earlier in regards to the travel for the library, moving money out of education demo, $1,200 into education and training to pay for the flight expenses. Line item transfer 16 of 33, line item transfer number 5733. It's just a HIDA amendment having to do with the award that was given to us. Same thing with page 18 of 33, line item transfer 5769. Both are 2 different HIDA awards that we needed to make sure that we're budgeted for, and those are just amendments to the budget. Yes, sir.
No, I don't have any questions. Any questions on line item transfers as outlined by the auditor? Hearing none? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve the budget line item transfers as presented.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? You're good to go. 33, discuss take action on bills and wire transfers.
I have no wire transfers for you today.
Deal.
But I do have some exceptions to the bills this morning.
Okay.
I do have an exception to the bill. It is for Miss Bailey Lively. That is having to do with the running out of food at the hot dog lunch, and she ran to the store to get some items that were needed to Walmart, $31.74. So she's asking to be reimbursed for that item. I do have one for Securus Technology out of SO Detention. explanation provided indicates that, please expense following invoice from Securus Technology out of the contract services. According to the contract, Midland County has agreed to pay for this service.
What's the service?
Video visitation storage fee is a description written on the invoice in the amount of $5,975. And I'm assuming IT would have more information on that.
Yeah, anybody got any information on that?
Yes, this is the storage fee. They had agreed to store the videos for a certain amount of time. In order to extend those, when we negotiated the contract, they had a storage fee in there. So there is a fee.
Okay. Is this a one-time fee?
Yes, it is a one-time fee.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
I have one more exception, and that has to do with Prosperity, $59.99 out of the IT department, and explanation provided indicates, please expense a charge to Best Buy on April 6th for $59.99. This was for a replacement DSL modem for cemetery. The old modem malfunctioned, which left the site without internet or VPN access. We did not know that the modem was our responsibility, as we thought it belonged to AT&T. So that's the explanation provided on that from the RIT department.
Okay.
And that, I do have one more having to do with hotel above per diem rate for Judge Bradford going to Austin for the CUC meeting.
Correct.
I think it was, we have it currently approved at $200, and I think it was $245.
She is correct. Downtown Austin.
Yes, sir.
Is that all?
That is it.
Motion to approve all.
Second.
Motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. 34, take action on submitted applications for permanent to use county right-of-way for utility and line installation, driveway construction, mailbox construction. Precinct 1.
Yes, I think one.
Precinct 2.
None? Oh, I'm sorry.
No, you're 3.
I'm 3.
I have 7.
Precinct 3.
Nada.
Precinct 4.
Not a time to end. Yo mismo. Motion to approve all these.
Second.
Have motion and second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Thank you. We do have a couple of executive session items that one of them may take a little bit. Russell, do you have litigation today? All right, we've got 3. We'll have pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, consult with county attorney regarding pending prospective litigation and other matters. Then we have conduct executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code section 551.074, discuss personnel matters, and 37, conduct executive session pursuant to Texas Government Code section 551.072 to deliver, purchase, exchange, lease, and value of real property. We'll take a 5-minute recess, and then we'll go into executive session. So we'll be recessed for 5 minutes. We're out of executive session on the 22nd of May, 2017. It's 11:37 by my watch. Is there any action from executive session? Nope. Hearing none, let's go back to one item so we can have on the record, and that is, excuse me, that is for Constable, item 15. Discuss take action on line item transfers from Constable Precinct 3 salary line to law enforcement supplies, weapons and ammo, office supplies and uniforms. Madam Auditor.
Yes, sir. I got some information from the constable. I know that you approved $9,500 from salary.
Yes.
He wants it dispersed in this manner: $500 for uniforms, $7,000 for law enforcement supplies, and $2,000 for weapons and ammunition.
Okay. Any questions on that? Just motion to acknowledge.
Motion to acknowledge.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, and that was worked on with collaboration of his commissioner.
Commissioner Sanchez gave me those numbers.
Yeah, and Veronica, if you'd get us the information you need for the agenda, we will have a special meeting next Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. in this courtroom. Okay? Hearing nothing else, is there a motion?
To adjourn.
Second.
Motion second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, none. We're adjourned.